right. Cool. Did we get pushed through? Oh, well, we did. That was quick. All right, I need to get the prediction up real quick. It is Op 4 defending, Blue 4 attacking. 1 second. Prediction, start prediction. Who will win FNF round 1? And I already had Op 4 and Blue 4 down, which is great, so I can just do that. Set it for 15 minutes, and we got that going. All right, guys, what is up? Wee Woo here. FNF is back this week, now with hopefully 100% more internet. Because we were only able to cover half of lap 1, half of round 1 last week because halfway through the round, my internet got severed. The physical line connecting it, my house's router to the outside node got severed by a shovel as they buried our neighbor's cable, so that was pretty funny. But regardless, now we're back. Shame about that, but, you know, we'll keep it going. Otherwise, we got Op 4 versus Blue 4 here. Quite a range of interesting assets to go with for today.
I can finally make it to one of these again.
And Gav, thanks for the 52-month resub, my man. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. But Op 4, I mean, you see some pretty fun assets right here that they're going to be utilizing today. And Blue 4 also has some pretty interesting stuff as well. But let's go ahead and get through the briefing here. No brief, just a simple operation. Fortified tool is disabled in and around Sector 1, but you're free to build everywhere else. They made a blacklist area. All right. Looks like the maximum view distance is going to be 1.25 kilometers. Defender fortified points are going to be standard, 125. No magnified optics nor NVG equipment. Both sides, it doesn't matter. Op 4 has an echo, and Blue 4 has an echo. So yes, both sides are going to have mat teams, 2 AT per person, meaning the gunner and any additional assistants. Looks like it's, I can't tell who has the AT right here, and these appear to be 2 assistant kits, but let me scroll in just to check.
FNF plays at the moment, so I need to actually
So Purton's an assistant, and Katz is also an assistant. And then you've got these guys, Tackleberry and Wheaton are assistants, Swallow's the gunner. I assume the guy that was taking the weapon for Echo crashed. So we'll just have to get back to that later to see who's gunning. But otherwise, that is what we have for there. Blue 4 is going to be modern Polish Special Forces kits. Weapons are going to be ACRs, Glock 17s for the secondary, Mini-Me's for Alpha Bravo and Charlie for the light machine gunners, Delta, the medium machine gunner is going to have the MG3, light anti-tank is going to be the M136, crew and aviation slots get the MP5 or the Remington carbine version. Otherwise, their assets include the vanilla IFV called the Rosamach, and it looks like they do have AP rounds, only 4 magazines of 70 rounds each. That is quite nice. 2 PKT MTLBs, 1 Humvee with the 50 cal that is shielded, some transport Humvees, transport trucks, and 2 pickup cars. Nice. Op 4 otherwise are going to be just basic PMC urban camouflage kits. Loadout's going to be modernized AK-74s with the choice of Eastern or Western optics, Eastern with the UK attachment, Western with the Zentico rail attachment, or if they want to be Chad's AKSs. MP443 Garages as their secondary. RPKs are going to be given to the light machine gunners and Alpha Bravo and Charlie. Delta's medium machine gunners get the PKP. Light anti-tanks going to be the RPG-7. Crew and aviation get the PP-2000 or the AKS. Iander just joined. I have a sneaking suspicion of who I know is going to be that AT gunner in there. Otherwise, they have Op 4 has 2 UAZs, 5 SUVs. I don't know if those are the up-armored versions. We've got 2 UAZ Dishkas, 2 standard Dishka statics, 2 covered off-roads, meant to be like communication, but just covers the flat bag in the back. 2 Yava motorcycles, and a BTR-80 Alpha, which only has a single 90-round magazine of AP. So Blue 4 has about 3 times the AP ammo that Op 4 does, but Op 4 has a little bit more in a single magazine, so that asset has to be used very sparingly. Interesting. Regardless, let's go ahead and look at our roster. Pierce is commanding for Op 4. Oh boy, I know we all love him. Lusode leading Alpha with Skeeta, Colin, Crazy, Roderick, Solomon, Steve, Kevin, Fila, and Camred under him. Norris leading Bravo with Bates as the marksman under him. Bravo 1 has Hunt and Foster, and there appears to be no Bravo 2. Flux is leading Charlie with Kane, Korvac, and Novix. We also have in Charlie 1 Armagesus, Artisan, Roster, Zoni, and Schnuffles. So Pepega Pirates are, on Op 4. And then we see Scandi Recon taking Delta with Nemesis leading Dobbs, Cullis, Puma, Flying Fin, and Malin all merging to Delta 2, taking 3 out of the 4 machine gun rolls between Delta 1 and Delta 2. Echo being led by Yanni with Pertin Cats, and Iander has that RPG 32. And then Gamma is Kabubi Face and Vagrant. They are a dedicated vehicle crew for that BTR 80 Alpha. So, take your caveats here. You got Pierce commanding, but he's got Pepega and Scandi on him, and they're playing defense. So we'll have to see how that goes. Looks like 3 different sectors to control here. But either way, let's go ahead and look at Blue 4. Blue 4, we have Curie commanding with Charlotte as the 2IC, Patriot as the medic oddball, leading Alpha with, Mutant as the marksman. I believe it's an ACR with an ACOG. And I would be right, that is a 230 scope. Actually, no, it's a 5.56, so it would only be a regular 230, 238 for 7.62 base rifles. 230 standard is 5.56. Misfit as their medic. Olaf leading Alpha 1 with Alexander, Otovisky, Lurch, Bror, and Mito. NASA leading Charlie with Zixmi and Pogo. Zixmi taking the marksman role there. Bluck leading Charlie 1 with Skipu Kermit, Tim Kappa, and Bob Winchester. Charlie 2 has Depso, Wonder, Lolo, and Night Owl. Ash leading Delta with Banks as the medic. Harana leading Delta 1 with Kazag and Major Com. Delta 2 has Newton leading Blast, Renly, Puma, and Elio. Eloi. I don't know. Tackleberry. And Wheaton being assistant gunners for Swola, who has the AT weapon. Arcor leading the Echo team. And then their Gamma crew is going to be Tilsiter, Sam, and Seismo, who are going to be taking the fun thing. Okay. Well, with that all said and done, sector control here, how it works is if Blue 4 get a number advantage in the outlined sector, a 90-second timer starts counting down. If at any point Blue 4 loses that number advantage, Blue 4 being the attackers in this case, the timer is paused and reset, and then the attackers have to get the number advantage again for that timer to start counting down. Once the timer is fully counted down, the sector is considered taken and cannot be retaken by the defenders, in this case, Op 4. Once all 3 sectors are taken, the attackers win. If at least one sector is held by the end of the round, in which case this is a 50-minute round, which starts in 8 minutes because there's a 15-minute safe start, then the defenders win. I'm going to be right back 1 second. My apologies about that, but otherwise, that is going to be pretty much the first round. Op 4 having 2 UAZs and 2 Dishka stacks. I don't want to say UAZ Dishkas, but basically 4 heavy machine guns in the BTR-80 Alpha, but limited AP ammo compared to Blue 4 attacking with a much heavier asset. And then you see the ground convoy coming in, but they only have 2 MTLBs and then a 50 cal Humvee that is shielded. But with Iander moving around, this will be a difficult AO, especially since I mean, this is a fairly large AO, I'll give it that. It's going to be a bit tough for Op4 to hone in on where the enemy vehicle is in the beginning, but once they do, it's not going to be hard for them to get around and flank it and destroy it, especially with Iander as the gunner. Plus, there's only a few obvious routes that Blue 4 can take in, unless they want to go on foot and take the forested routes here, because the MSR, I mean, that's the most obvious approach, to be honest, but you never know. Obvious can still be utilized effectively, but even so, tough AO to work with. But let's see, Sector 1 appears to be this abandoned castle area. Again, this is the area where it says in the special rules that they're not allowed to do any fortifications on, but it looks like Op4 is still taking to it. Sector 2 appears to be this area, which shows the making of some sort of military base, which is quite nice. It's next to what I like to call the shipping depot area of the map of Ruha, because these are all just shipping process warehouses and whatnot. And then Sector 3 appears to be a built-up military base fortification. Looks like they deformed parts of this area as well. And it appears to have a bit of a radar installation on top of some ammo storage areas and some barracks. And then you see some HESCO and sandbag builds-ups on the outside, as well as some older fortifications made out of concrete. I'd say out of all of the AOs, Sector 3 and 2 are probably tougher than Sector 1, because Sector 1 you have these nice open areas and these naturally created choke points with how this, I want to say lake kind of gets segmented here into a bunch of different ponds.
Now.
So...
Hey everyone, hope both sides show us some mayhem and fun.
I think that's also why they gave the custom rule about no fortification building, because they know that this could easily be over-fortified, so we'll just have to see how that goes. But Tsunami Wave 04, thanks for the 16-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. My usual settings for AI difficulty would be 90 for everything except AI skill, which I usually put at 30 to 35. Some communities, I lower it. Spotting is either going to be 50 or 90, depending on if it's day or night, and if I have a lot of vehicles that are going to engage at range. Gavalor, if it's an op for you, it would definitely be 90s for everything except AI accuracy, which I would bump to 30 to 35. For that quote-unquote practice. But regardless, sectors are pretty branched out here, but it looks like Op4 is opting to do a large defense on Sector 1 and a bit of a defense around Sector 2 and 3, but I think it's mainly just to hold the NSR right here. But we are working with Scandi and Pepega on a defense on the same side, which means the best troops on the server, in my humble opinion, are on Op4. And they're creating a lot of areas here for those troops to kind of push out and envelop. Looks like Scandi's playing defense with Iander also staying on defense with the mat weapon. Not sure how I feel about that. I feel it could be a little more advantageous to send them out and about, but at the same time, with how big the AO is and how forested it is, I'm also not surprised they're just putting it on a static defensive position, but I don't think he should be in the sector directly. He should be somewhere on the outskirts ready to flank to engage wherever a vehicle might find an open line on, but yeah, we'll see. The thing about Scandi and Pepega is they can adapt very quickly and get very aggressive and move out on any situation, so we might see that with them, because Pepega here is locking down the road, Scandi playing internal defense, and then he's, Pierce has the other squads kind of setting up defensive lines and reconnaissance forces out and about here. Otherwise, for Curie commanding here, we've got one truck of forces. This is going to be Charlie being sent on the eastern side, and then we just have a convoy that's going to come down the MSR into the AO. And I think Waldo's either AFK or what, but he's got a few vehicles to work with, but he's going to walk on foot instead of take a car up. That's kind of funny. So, we'll just have to see how things go. Otherwise, guys, thank you for joining me today for this scenario. At 8 p.m., I know I've been saying it a few times the past few days of we've been starting. I'm giving you an official time, though. 8 p.m. tonight, we're going to start playing Daisy Stalker. The reason I keep pushing it back is because other things happen, and I have to get that all set up. But I've been saying this, I think, for 1 or 2 weeks now, but things are getting a lot easier on maintenance, and I'm just kind of carrying through with all of that. But basically, I got to do this stream. We're going to probably be finished in about 3.5 hours, 3 Yeah, anywhere between 3 and 3.5. Then I have to go take care of an errand, be out of the house for like, 20 minutes, come back, have a meeting with Karma Cut, finalize the op for not this weekend, but next weekend. And then we'll probably go on a 2 to 3 week schedule, but honestly leaning 2 weeks. I just have to ask him if that's still available, because his ops are not that hard to make. Now that I've gotten a feel for what he wants. And he's got this massive list of different operations he wants to do. And, I mean, it's going to take me, even if we run a week, run an op every other week, that means, what, 2 ops a month? I have, like, a year's worth of ops to run from him without me even adding any of my own personal stuff, which I do want to as well. But this is also going to open the door for me bringing in some actors and other stuff and making Saturday nights very interesting for the going months here. So that's a nice extra door that's been opened. But yeah, I really do need to probably spend the weekend editing footage, though. I'm starting to fill a 4 terabyte drive. Sparkle, before you even ask, because I know you DM'd me about it, there's Steve. He's on Alpha 2. I don't know what your obsession is with him, but there you go. But regardless, I'm putting out 8 o'clock as like a tentative time for Stalker. I might do it even earlier. It just depends on how quickly FNF wraps up. I mean, if these 3 rounds are, shut up rounds where we finish in 20 minutes, then clearly things are going to end a lot quicker, so. Alright, as you do you. I've heard you say you're retiring from Arma 3 times before, but hopefully this will be the one. Do what you want. Regardless, opt for ambushing the Blue 4 group coming down the MSR. Delta has decided to drive down. 50 cal Vic leading, which I appreciate. And now Pepega's going to act upon this. We have 1 wounded. And I don't know if he was shot or he dismounted early and hurt himself or what. I think I see a knocked over tree, though, so he might have just hurt himself. But this is basically a charge to Sector 2. Blue 4 is smoking this. They're going to try to rush over to it as well. Op 4 has no defense on the sector itself, so they're going to have to end up leaving their position and pursuing. Or they could pull back if they don't want to risk it. But we have reinforcements coming down behind. But it looks like they're veering off to the side here after realizing they've taken contact. So this is another squad or so. You're welcome, Sparkle. What do you mean by that, Darth? So interestingly enough, Op 4 is not pushing their forces in. They're kind of holding this position instead. We do see King on the other side as the marksman, just trying to look up the road here. I don't think they're expecting Blue 4 to get so direct and actually start pushing around. I think Pepega might be used to the fact that most other communities aren't going to be this aggressive and immediately make these types of maneuvers. So we'll just have to see how they adapt to this style. But look at this GL. It's going to go right in the middle of this formation. Did it go too far? Or was that a... Nope, that was a Hunt IR round. God, if that actually went through, that might have hit someone and done quite a bit of damage because of how spaced out everyone was. That shot was on the money. I don't know, Darth. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I'm sorry. There's Sector 2 being captured. We'll see if that prompts a response. I'm going to be really surprised if I see an Op 4 pullback here, but then again, they just might. We see Op 4 sending some forces down on this side as well. I'm also really surprised that we're not seeing the IFV being fielded. Instead, it's kind of just being kept in the back. And that's another thing I've noticed. Most commanders don't properly field the IFV as a supporting asset because they're too worried about it getting destroyed. And I get that for some maps. Like Altus, for example. That's a really open map. You can have the IFE really act independently as long as you keep it in friendly territory, but that can quickly change if there's a marauding AT team. But in a map like this, I think the IFE would just benefit from going at the edge of an engagement, assisting the infantry, and just spraying down a hostile position. Because if it's going to operate on its own, it's probably just going to get blown up. Otherwise, Sector 2 has been captured. We just saw a nice little color change effect on the map. And Op4 is trying to line up a defense on the trees here, I guess, to cut Blue 4 off from moving to Sector 3. IFE on the move, unsupported by infantry. I'm a little worried about it because it could get isolated and destroyed before it's effective at all. Meanwhile, we also have Op4 is kind of stuck in the back, but looks like it's being ordered to maneuver, probably to play defense around Sector 3 and possibly watch one of the flanks of the infantry line we're seeing created here. There's no HE, only limited AP for both. The BTR-80 Alpha has 90 rounds. The Root kit up there, which we hear firing right now, has 4 magazines of 70 rounds, I believe. So a lot more ammo for this one. So it looks like they just took pot shots at some defensive positions they saw over there. You saw those little fortifications. I can't tell if he was actually shooting at someone. We have an RPG trying to line up from Camred, but that, yeah, it's going to detonate before it even hits. Yeah. RPGs only have about a 750 meter range before the rounds auto-detonate, so that's roughly a kilometer in distance, to be honest. Maybe a little under, about 900 or so, but not the best range to work with. But now we've got Op4. They've created their secondary line here. They still have some fortifications to work with as Blue 4. We're actually seeing one squad immediately pulling south here. They're going to probably come around and try to hit the 3rd sector from the southwestern flank. Though they have a limited amount of room of what they can do here. They could either take the short way and come in right here, or they could take the long way and go all the way around and go in. So that'll be a toughie. It is the Vanilla Marshal. Its official technical term is, if I were to pull up their asset list, a Rosamach. Anyway, Kata Dev, thanks for the 100 bits. Been watching you, been watching the VODs on YouTube for the past year religiously, especially the FNF of Sierra matches. Came by to say thanks and keep them coming. Also appreciate the VOD uploads a lot. Yeah, thank you so much for saying that. I need to get back on the PvP channel. I've taken over a month-long hiatus because I've been focusing on other stuff, and that channel was a lot of maintenance. But that is going to come back by this month's end, mark my words. I've just been focusing on a few other things because, well, when the YouTube algorithm screws with me, I have to think on my feet and try to figure out how I'm still going to be able to afford the roof over my head, but we're getting it done. So, nonetheless, appreciate your support. Hope you keep enjoying everything, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. So Blue 4, we're just seeing a massive flank around right here. They need to set up some sort of force to contend. I mean, Delta with the machine guns could set up and just plink at the forest and keep this group pinned to not give away the intentions that we're seeing right here. But with Delta and a little bit of Charlie Actual moving up, I think Op4 is going to be able to spot this and see that they're just trying to, you know, bypass around because we already see Delta's been pulled back to set up a defensive line back here, you know? Oh, yeah, the silly local comms. I don't usually listen, but when I get the opportunity to, it can be quite funny. I could also imagine Op4 does have Hunt IR up, and, you know, Blue 4, that might be their own Hunt IR they put up as well, but I know Op4, that's the, you know, we've already seen a Hunt IR right above their position. Meanwhile, it looks like Bravo 1 pushed up to where the Ruminac was, but it is tucked away back here. And it is watching rear security of the Blue 4 infantry line. I don't disagree with that. I think that's a decent role for it. Not its best role that it could be doing. It could still be, you know, setting up base of fire and drawing attention and making people put their heads down to distract people from this move around. But rear security is also not a bad role to prevent Op4 from flanking around, especially considering they are fighting two of the most aggressive communities on Op4, being Scania Recon and Papega. So watching that rear is not a bad call to make. I think it could be a little better, but, you know, that's just me. Looks like we have Kiri trying to get away from the enemy BTR-80 Alpha here on Op4. It just used some AP rounds to schwack this vehicle, but now we've got the Ruminok returning fire. That 80 Alpha's cooking off. It's not going to explode, but fuel's on. Vagrant immediately trying to get back in, but he's going to be on fire. We do have a dead crewman right there. Wow, he did not get lit on fire. Lucky him. But that would be Arcane, who is now down. That vehicle's going to be out of action. I'd imagine these guys can just keep it pinned for the moment, but Sam's going to be watching it like a hawk. You can hear them ordering each other to orchestrate back and forth here so they can keep a proper line on that position. You got Echo on the far side right here. Iander's going to be trying to look for a way to move up. But it looks like they wrecked their vehicle because they were trying to move around to find a shot on it. But yeah, clearly they hurt themselves a bit. They are looking for it, though. That weapon...
I have visual from my pods, 141 bearing.
Let's see if Iander can work his AT magic. That is a very long shot. He's going to have to go...
517.
Oh, he's going to be pretty much right on the 5 then. But I think I'm worried that's going to be under because they're ranging on the bushes. Yep. So they needed to increase that by another, by a little click there because they were about 10 meters short. But that's going to be enough to make this crew freak out and get away. And I think that's because the rangefinder got caught on some of the trees and wasn't able to give a proper range there, which is always the risk when you do stuff like that. But meanwhile, the rest of Blue Force formation is coming around. They're going to be attacking all the way from the southwestern side, even the, just the south and even southwestern sides. They're going to potentially go all the way around doing this the long way. And that's just going to let Op4 kind of wise up to the fact they're doing this massive formation. They're already spotting these groups kind of moving that way. They see the smoke, so they know that stuff's going to come around. We already see one of, yep, of course it's Kane. One of the Pepega Pirate guys, the marksman here, he's coming out in the trees. He's going to try to watch and blink out whatever he can as it comes around. Kiri, though, actually it's Patriot, okay. Did Kiri get killed? Kiri got killed, that's why. So Kiri is dead. Patriot's coming up to try to check if he's still alive. Looks like he was picked off by the Alpha defense line there for Op4. So that's going to be, it's going to mean Charlotte's going to have to be as 2IC commanding this force here. I'm going to have a listen.
Yeah, I think we lost Delta 2 lead. We're gonna make it.
Yeah, so they don't have comms with Delta 2. He got picked off by someone. Probably from around here. We're seeing some shots up in the air. Not sure what those are about. King staying low. We're seeing some machine gun fire firing into the defensive line over here. Not sure if they have eyes on anything specific, but they might just see the fortifications there and start blinking at them. The issue here... Actually, no, it's not an issue. I think these guys are going to be the set team to run the distraction, and these guys are going to be the close team to come in. And then when that close team starts putting pressure on Op4 to force them back, these guys will either charge forward using these fortifications here and move in, or vehicles. But if this defensive line stays, it's going to be able to shoot at them as they attempt to cross. So, tough call there, tough call. And yeah, you're right, that rear security did pay off for the Ruminok to take out the BTR-80 Alpha. All right. Saw an RPG launch, but it was short. Right now, we're just kind of watching the macro of the battle here. Op4's got a pretty good defense line. Blue 4 I'm a bit worried about. I feel like they shouldn't have started this engagement until these guys were a little bit closer up. We're seeing them firing RPGs down. But now we're starting to see the Ruminok here. I'm not pronouncing that right. Rosamok, that's it. Now it's starting to not just be rear security, but it's also suppressing infantry as the rest of the force advances. But you're seeing them draw out RPGs, but they're at such a nice distance That's going to make it tough. And we just saw AP shots fired down, and they hit a transport. Nope, that is a Dishka UAZ because of the top railing there. So another asset hit there. It only takes 1 or 2 AP rounds in the engine block to cook them off. The other UAZ's been brought up, but again, it's going to be sniped pretty similarly because of that Rosenbach. So we also have the MTLBs have pushed up. They are providing fire security here. Basically trying to keep these guys pinned as Charlie continues to move around. But again, I think they shouldn't have engaged yet. They should have waited a bit, and then as Charlie got a little closer, maybe to about right here, then started shooting. Because, you know, Charlie could have still stealthed around this area. But again, knowing Pepega and Scandi, they probably didn't want to risk it because Pepega and Scandi are notorious for using Hunt IR and using it very effectively. Now here is where we're going to start seeing that aggressiveness between a lot of the factions on Op4. We're seeing Bravo being deployed in and Echo also coming in. Gamma, the vehicle crew survivors, also coming up. Looks like they're repairing the 50 cal car to see if they can use it against Blue 4. Not a bad idea there. But does Bravo have any AT? They do with Foster. And they might be able to get right on top of this unit because it doesn't have any infantry coverage. It's just a single vehicle. And I think they're going to be honed in on fighting that defense line. So I believe Foster's going to get a nice RPG. To kill the vehicle, he is going to need to put it in the front because the front is where that engine block is, right here. Because the rear is all transport. It's basically an APC. So hitting it in the rear is not going to do much damage. It might kill the gunner because he might be partially exposed to it, but the front has the VIX. Hold on. So I'm assuming the commander was watching their right flank as the gunner was doing that, because there's no way they would have been able to spot this force coming in. But if they had a commander watching, then they would have been able to see these guys coming up immediately, and that's why they immediately bailed out of there. So good call there, because they don't need both the commander and the gunner to watch this very narrow angle right here. They can just have the commander watch their flank, and that's honestly the smartest use of a commander I've seen. Is just that added security, because now you're seeing Blue 4 fold their vehicle back into the safety net of their infantry. Now you got an MTLB pulling out, helping as the rest of the formation pulls around. We do have some stragglers though, and this is what I'm a little worried about for Blue 4, is those stragglers could end up getting hit on the rear by all these groups here. Looks like Gamma for Op4 was successful in repairing the Vic, even though the engine's still partially on fire. But they're going to be able to assist the infantry coming up. Hopefully there's not a blue-on-blue incident, though, with Op4 mis-PIDing the Humvee as enemy. I would assume that Gamma's called up over the net that they have stolen it, but we'll have to see. You still have Patriot as the platoon medic all the way back there. Yeah, so Bates lined up, but he saw that it was friendly, so he didn't deal with it, which is good. It's good. Now you got Alpha using the riverbed to advance. So what was the point of Charlie advancing all the way down here if you were just going to take a direct approach like that? And now there's no set security to suppress this line, so these guys are just kind of pushing ahead and getting slaughtered right now. This is a really bad idea. We just saw one Blue 4 guy go down. Gosh, you guys were doing such a great job with your formation, and now it's all for naught, because if Charlie just went up there and was already in the baseline, they could have put pressure on there, and then Alpha could push ahead. But now it's like, what are you doing? Why do we see such a separation right here? That could cost them the game at this point, because by sacrificing Alpha, that's going to give Op4 the number advantage, and you still have this force sweeping around. Oh, no. Well, I know they got a 2IC, though, that should be making the calls here, but I guess not. That's tough. Oh, gosh, don't push into enemy territory in the open with just a single smoke grenade, especially when you're fighting Scandi and Pepega. You guys know better. Now they just shot. Now you got Arma Jesus who's gonna wait him out. He's got the RPK too, which is the best weapon for this. He's throwing a grenade out. And that knocked out Oddball and Misfit. Yep. No surprise there, Chief. You hear the autocannon firing. And looks like they just flamed out that vehicle with suppression because the MTLB doesn't have that thick armor. So even small arms sustained on the vehicle can cause it to go up like that. Blue 4 was doing so well, and then you have Delta and Echo still going around this way. So what was the point of Alpha doing that advance? That was pointless. You just basically gave up for free kills here. More grenades going out. Lurch is going to get blown up. He tries to throw a satchel. That could get a few kills, but it looks like some people are running. Novix, yep, still gets killed from it because it's a freaking satchel. He's got Gamma 1 coming on the rear. Echo still looking for that IFV, which is now all the way up here, but they might run into infantry and also get some free killings too. Oh, this is just a massacre for Alpha. I don't know who ordered Alpha to do that, but that was such a mistake. They should have just followed the group in whatever this massive pushing is, and now you got these guys advancing. I don't get it. I honest to God don't get it. These guys are pinned, blindly throwing grenades out, but Outpour again, they have positions to cover. Back grenade. Nope. Armageddon was able to go around in time. Flux has come up, he's taking pot shots out at them, but... Alpha had a way to get in here. This was the danger area, and that's where they're stopped, but with no supporting force to suppress this line, because I originally thought Charlie was going to cross right here and then come in, and then maybe we'd see the rest of Blue 4 cross right here using the riverbed or this forested area, but no, they're just doing this massive scale around, and I guess there was just a miscommunication with the plan, and now Op4 is just in a really good spot to kick a lot of butt. Looks like Kabubi got knocked out, so Vagrant pulled in. That was the Gamma crew that's stolen Blue 4's M2 Humvee. And Armageddon, again, with the RPK, is just going to stop anyone that tries to advance. So now you just have Misfit. It's a slaughter. Because by the time this firefight wraps up, Op4 is going to loot enemy guns and be ready to, you know, defend from whatever other attack comes in. Armageddon is playing this a little too aggressive here, caught in the open, taking shots. But, you know, wants to go up and eliminate Misfit, so I get it. But he gets headshotted! Zixme, who's on 3 kills, mind you. He's one of the better players I've seen. He's the one of the top dogs in OFCRA every Thursday. Not surprised he got that headshot. Again, I feel like what would have been better is a little bit of running on the road, tossing some grenades in that ditch, because you can tell where the ditch is just by looking at the map, and then, you know, pulling back from cover, because running across, it's a Pepega thing to be overly aggressive like that, but it sometimes costs them. So you got 2 Blue 4 guys back here. It's part of the Delta crew, because they have the MG. Gavalor, for that, I would either use Hesco's, Earth Ramparts, or Sandbags. It depends on how fortified I'd want to make it. Yeah, Alpha's pretty much wiped. And Steve is still alive, thank you for asking. Actually, yep, there he is. Hasn't done anything, though. He's been on kind of internal security. Now you got the 2IC Charlotte up here. Again, oh, ahead of everyone. So I don't know what's going on with Command. I guess Curie really was the linchpin here. When he died early, it just kind of made everyone fall apart. Artisan gets knocked out from a head-leveled grenade. Could still wake back up, though. How many kills on the vehicle gunner? 3 at the moment. And then Rowan has a vehicle kill. I think they've been alternating on the weapon, though.
Sending
Yes, bro, the RPK does hurt.
now.
Can you...
RPK hurts.
Why did Alpha do that, if you don't mind me asking? Because everyone else is either... Everyone else is in the process of doing this massive flank around. Charlie is way ahead now. Everyone's kind of broken apart. Why did Alpha make that push with practically no support? Except for a single marksman named Zixme getting a few kills. Because you got... Okay, yep. That's fair. Why not? Zixme got a 4th kill in the meantime. I think he's picking off members of Pepega. And even Scandi is getting picked off as well. My god. Yeah, I'll be honest. If there's any solace with this, it's going to be the fact that Blue 4 have some really good marksmen. That end up, not only their marksmen, but their vehicle are getting a lot of good pickoffs, so. Looks like Artisan died. Yeah, there's his body, so Ashton Banks might have moved up and tapped him. Got some smoke GLs going in. Here's the thing, though. I don't think Op4 has the manpower to really continue this, because you're about to see Charlie hit him from the north. These are some pretty good players here. We got Lolo, Pogo, Bob Winchester, Kermit, Depso, basically your OFCRA gain. And Op4 does not have a lot of defense on here. Yes, we've got some Scandi players, but it's not a good chunk. I mean, they've been getting thinned out from Blue 4's long-range assets here. But, I mean, looking at Blue 4 and the rest of the line right here, they don't have much here either. So, with Op4 possibly being drawn out to do a bit of a counterattack, and this Blue 4 squad about to get on the rear, and you got this vehicle up here, which might just bypass and go up to Sector 1 and take it itself. Blue 4 still has a pretty decent shot of winning this. Yeah, they all left the castle garrison to come hold this position. Nemesis is going to be the early warning system. Might get a kill or two, but a little worried about it. Check where you and Ian died. Oh my god. You all died up on that hill, didn't you? Yep. Y'all got pretty much picked off by guys on the rear. Goobers. Nah, they're all dead. We just checked. Nemesis heard these guys coming. We see some grenades going. Doesn't get any grenade kills there. Only knocks him to his feet. Nemesis, though, unfortunately, these grenades are going to double tap him. Yep. So now you got Alpha 1 turning around and starting to engage. That position is now clear, though, for Blue 4 to move in and fortify. Blue 4, meanwhile, pushing in right here. I can't tell if Korvac got friendly fired or hit by Blue 4 coming around. It was one shot from Swola's Carl Gustav. That explains why he has 4 kills. That is amazing, but judging from the spacing right there, I'm not surprised. That's crazy. And again, it's just because Swola with that 4-man kill, the Rumagat with the multi-kills as well. I mean, Zixme with the marksman rifle. It's just thinning out Op4's numbers enough. And I think now Op4 is too thin to hold this sector. And now you got the vehicle right here providing that fire support. And we're going to have to really see a miracle here from what remains on Scandi and Pepega. I mean, you know, we got Kanon 4 kills. That's really it, though. There's been just more multi-killing on the attackers here on Blue 4 rather than Op 4 on the defense. Ah, that's nice, Yanni. That's nice. Ooh! Pierce gets a kill there. Right, Okada Dev, give it 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 days and it'll be on YouTube. Now that I'm going to start doing DayZ again, the VODs are going to be bottlenecked. I might have to start uploading 3 a day so I can, you know, keep with the at most 4 days ahead, but we'll see. But nonetheless, thanks for dropping by. I appreciate all your patronage. Did Pierce just go down? Yes, he did. Ha! Missed it. But yeah, they're pretty much evenly trading here. I mean, just look at the numbers, though. You got a little bit of Op 4 right here. Basically all the fights, though, Blue 4 has the number advantage. And again, I think what really cost Blue Op 4 here was just too many people were getting multiple kills by utilizing their assets effectively, from the vehicle to the marksman rifle. BTR-80 Alpha got schwacked early on. Is that a... Okay, I thought that was something more than a grenade. Oh! Traded the sentry right there, but yeah, no one's in the sector itself, so Sector 3 is now getting taken. Roofy's now clearing this building, thinking Flux went inside. So you got Op 4 now rushing into the sector to hold it. How are these two doing? Well, how is he doing? Because it was 2, but now it's not 2 anymore. Steve's napping. Yeah, I mean, Steve's still okay. He's up there on the hill. Oh, God, and now the APC's coming right in to put direct fire support. There goes Cullis. At that point, you're just screwed. A crazy GL shot by Tim right there. Now he's trying to get a hit on Roderick, but give it a second. Oh! Oh! The Noob 2 Kermit pulled out. Oh! And speaking of rockets, we just saw the Op 4 guy get hit by a freaking RPG. Well, we heard it at least, but yeah, it's... Oh, it's a massacre. At this point, Blue 4 just needs to rush over and take Sector 1. I think they might think that Blue 4 is a defender, or Op 4 is a defensive group there, but that was, oh, messy. There's Sector 3. Now, who's going to turn around and take Sector 1? But at this rate, I think Blue 4 could just wipe out all of Op 4 here. Kane, though. Kane's going to run for it. You got Finn and Steve holding. And then you have, wow, Bates survived that RPG. He has an RPG, so who knows, but... Honestly, though, we might just see that Romanok just rush up and check out Sector 1 and then go take it itself. Boys, what did I get? Because a lot of things just happened. In Depso. Yes, yeah, we got the rocket snipe. Don't you worry.
Now.
I was expecting someone else to GL him, but
ball for Op 4.
did
that
you?
Was brutal with the Marshall's fire. Couldn't look out at all.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought King bounced it off of the tree, but Depso threw a grenade at the exact same time. Oh man, and of course, Steve is our last man in the AO here with -1 kills, which means he killed a friendly. But now he just killed an enemy, so his score is 0. But Mal, thanks for the 56-month resub. This one, yeah. Golf and Echo for Sparkle, don't watch. Anyway, I agree. Op for Echo and Gamma really did drop the ball there. It's unfortunate, but yeah, Steve just got annihilated. And the only one remaining is Bates. He's completely on the opposite sides. This will be over in 5 minutes. But anyway, that was round 1. What did you guys think? I thought that was a pretty nice bit of action there. There was no reason Alpha needed to be sacrificed. But at the same time, it's partial to Alpha's actions that allowed other groups on Overwatch to get some snipes in. But that was a messy one. Whew. I'm going to be honest, it could be called right now. Because, I mean, what's Bates going to do? He's literally on the opposite side of the sector. I just saw a red triangle come up. I think that was someone joining the server. Like, he's in no position to defend. I was also surprised with how clean that was, too. Because it was something. I was not expecting Blue 4 to be that effective, but the OFCRA team definitely did a great job. But at the same time, a lot of Op 4s on the southern side not expecting that rear attack, so... I guess we can call it Alpha's sacrifice. I still don't agree with it, but, oh man. It definitely kept Op 4 pinned to the south, so Blue 4 could counterattack on the north, and at that point, it's a numbers game. But I'm going to be honest, I would love to see more sacrifice-style plays like that in the future. If it means they get the job done. Wheaton, no. Wheaton, no. Game over. GG. All the defenders are dead. Yeah, some elimination there, Chief. It's a bit much. I haven't seen Scandy and Pepega on the same side lose in a hot second. It's been a few months, but that's just to remind you, it does exist. It does exist. I'm okay, Falcon. How are you doing? Were you playing League with Dante last night? Chuckleheads. Got killed so hard his ancestors felt that one. Yeah, right? Gotcha. I was watching a stream. All right. United Serrani. Let me go ahead and get these commands written up. So just give me a moment. As always, for FNF streams between rounds, I generally play a few ads just because it gives me some time to adjust everything. Anyway, round 2, where... Op 4 is attacking 3 Blue 4 terminal sites. Op 4 has an 8% numbers advantage. And 2 HMG Mutt Jeeps, while Blue 4 has 2 M240 statics. Cool. Alright, minimize that window. Actually, no, I'd have to update the map too. Let me bring that window back up. Hit the save button a million times. Type in map. This is United Serrani. Pop quiz, guys. For those of you that are Arma buffs like me, what is the difference between Serrani and United Serrani? There are 2 different map files when you use cup maps. One is Serrani, one is United Serrani. I know the difference. I randomly found it one day. One's optimized, the other is not. No, that is not the case, Falcon. Unless, okay, maybe United Serrani does have a memory leak still. But as far as I know... Then again, I haven't been on a Serrani map in a very long time. But anyway, the major difference between the two, United Serrani has all of the military installations on the northern part of the map, which, past the border town, all the military bases are bombed to high hell. So instead of military structures, there's just a lot of flat ruins. The southern military bases are still mostly intact, though, because it mirrors the Serrani campaign from Cold War Assault. So that's the difference. There can be a few other subtle ones too, but yeah, most of the stuff is bombed to hell. Also thinking about a new way to do content edits for the PvP Shenanigans channel, because I've been experimenting with a few different things. I've got probably 2 months of content to upload for that thing, and I'll be just rapid firing them again until I figure out something new. But I'm trying to optimize how I do everything to put things in emphasis. And this month, even though I've had a lot of IRL stuff to do and it's prevented me from doing a lot of weekend stuff, I've been pretty much able to just think about everything for the long term. So, you know, a lot of fun stuff with that. JY, anything like that, you will have to ask Malin, because he is the de facto head honcho of EU right now. Don't get me wrong, I still love Dingo, and on paper, Dingo is the leader, but Malin is definitely the one that gets everything done. Let's see. Again, I'll mention we'll be doing some DayZ tonight in a little under 4 hours. After FNF, I gotta go take care of an errand, and then... Or errand. There's a D at the end of that, yeah. English. Then I have to go meet with Karmacut. We're going to pencil in, not this Saturday, but next Saturday at 9 o'clock, we'll have our second collab up with him. And then we'll get on a 2 to 3 week schedule, though I'll be leaning towards 2 weeks because they're not that hard to do in terms of his missions. Plus, we're going to start including things like actors and other things, and I've got... If we do a mission every 2 weeks, I literally have a year's worth of ops for him based off of all the ideas he passed to me. So, we'll see how things go with that. But yeah, with that, we're going to have another, what are they called? Why am I blanking on their name? Black Templar Space Marine Op, that's going to be on the 30th, so that's in 9 days on a Sunday. This weekend, I don't think I have anything planned for Saturday, though I am going to start editing my schedule for, you know, some dedicated DayZ streams, because we're bringing that back again. I'm thinking of doing like a 1.5 to 2 month period of doing it, and then taking like a half a month off, you know, 2 weeks. So like a 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off sort of thing, so I can just focus on other stuff and give it a break and then get back into it with a new batch of servers, you know? Just trying to schedule a bunch of stuff out. But after I get everything optimized by the end of this month, I guess the next thing that needs to start being looked at again is MCO, because I keep having so many people ask me when that project's coming back. I've just been so busy. But I hope you all have been A-okay. I've just been working on finalizing Pog's current campaign, and then the next major project for them is going to be completely remaking the campaign we're doing with all the contracting stuff, but with 3CB factions and RHS stuff, and a preference on that stuff, because I don't like how tanky Cup can be. And then continuing the last ship campaign. I already have the next map done, and then I need to look at what OpTray hotfixed on Tuesday and see if that changes anything for the mini campaign I have planned for my community. I want to say at around another 6 days or so, I'm going to put some polls up for what the player base wants to play next. I just want them to play a second last ship op so they can get a feel for that campaign. I also decided I'm not increasing the player count for that, despite so many people wanting me to, but that's also because just the campaign's not designed to have that many people working on it. But maybe after they get the helicopter, maybe on the next thing they can get that sorted. But that also means if I am going to really let them have an emphasis on splitting their party, I can't do any roleplay stuff because I can't be in 2 places at once. And I have had people offer it to me, but for something like that, since there's so many variables I have to control with it being such a custom campaign, especially with CBRN values, I prefer it to be a one-man show. But anyway, round 2 is beginning. So, funny enough, since we're on the southern side, the map being on Sarani or United Sarani makes no difference because I'm pretty sure this area hasn't been changed up. It could be bombed for all I know, but I'm pretty sure all the changes really started by the border town of Corzal and then everything north. But yeah, all the military spots are blown to high hell. But either way, looks like Op 4 starting on the northern ridge on the, southern ridge. And they're going to trickle in. Blue Fort defending the town of Parazio. Right off the bat, I don't really like this AO, because there's not a lot of ways Blue 4 can, or Op 4 can really get into this town, but I'll show you guys in a second. I'm going to take a look real quick. So they start right there, and then you got this open area right here, and Blue 4 can just run up, and, oh, man. It's going to be a rush for Op 4 to get in there, and they only have a limited amount of transport. Well, this should be interesting. It's going to be a quick game mode, though, but hey, you know, quicker rounds mean we can start DayZ earlier. Anyway, briefing. Mission made by Puma. Bottled Lightning. Mission rules do not block the entrances to the terminal areas. That's fair. Background, PMC Force defends these terminals in the city of Pariazio from an aggressive rebel force. Game mode. Terminals. So how terminals work is the attacking faction, in this case Op 4, have, looks like 1, 2, 3 terminals to interact with. Once an attacker gets up to a terminal, they can interact with the terminal, and that will start a 90-second countdown. Actually, let me check that variable specifically. Yep, 90-second countdown. Once that countdown finishes, the terminal self-destructs and is completed. At any point, the defenders can run up and interact with the terminal, and it will pause the countdown. And, you know, the fighting continues. The attackers win when all 3 terminals are taken, or they completely wipe the defenders. The defenders win if they completely wipe the attackers, or at least keep 1 terminal alive for the entire 50 minutes. Again, with the size of this AO, this could very well be a 30-minute round, so we'll see. I mean, the last round was only like 35, I think at most 40-minute, but, I mean, it's a little past 4 o'clock right now, so we're definitely a little early on our scheduling right now. But that's neither here nor there. Regardless, let's go ahead and look at our breakdown here. So render distance only 810 meters. Defender 4 to 5 points are your standard 125. Medium anti-tank settings. Looks like neither side took Echo, but Echo for Op 4 would have been useful for that fragmentation round, especially in a CQC urban environment. I'm really surprised, actually, we don't see an Echo taken. But regardless, Blue 4, our kits are going to be your modern PMC olive camouflage kits made by Banks & Malin. Their weaponry is going to be M4s or M16A4s or M4A1s. Sorry, I read that and that. So I just repeated myself. My bad. Glock 17s for the handgun, 249s for Alpha Bravo and Charlie's light machine gunners, 240 Golfs for Delta's medium machine gunners. Light anti-tank is going to be the 136 single shot disposable AT weapon for Alpha Bravo and Charlie because Delta doesn't get one. Crew and aviation doesn't matter because there's no crew and aviation. They only have 2 M240 statics. I want to check real quick just to make sure they're not the scoped variety. I didn't see the scope on them, but you never know. Okay, good, because I think the scopes would have been too OP for this. So, good. I like the balance of the mission so far. Let's go ahead and look at Op 4 uniforms. We got the French Lizard camouflage kits here. So you got your platoon lead, platoon sergeant, squad leader, team lead, auto rifleman assistant, grenadier, grenadier IR guys have the Hunt IR 40mm camera grenades. Fire up in the air, parachutes down, gives you a nice bird's eye view because it's a camera. It has normal and night vision capability. That's little parachute things you see in the sky and occasionally players will shoot at because when they shoot at them, it makes them fall a lot quicker. Machine gunners, machine gunner assistants, these guys you only see in Delta. Combat engineer have the choice of 4 different types of explosives. They have 4 tripwire mines, 2 bean HE, 2 bean flare, which fire flares up in the air, 3 AT mines, 2 explosive satchels, or 4 explosive charges. Those satchels and charges can also be turned into throwables. Charges you can throw like grenades. Satchels you can only throw like a foot in front of you, but they have a much bigger explosion. Anyway, light anti-tank, medium anti-tank, 1 and assistant. 2 and assist don't exist anymore. This is just the Echo designation here. RI, RAS, and SMP for recon infantry, suppressed, and sniper don't matter anymore. They're part of a group called X-Ray, though I have... Again, I've been told by some people it's coming back. I've also been told officially that's not coming back, so I don't know what to say about it. I just, you know, rumors are rumors. You got your DMR kit, which is an SVD for Blue 4. I'll check. Excuse me, Op 4. Blue 4 I'll check in a second because you have to check under the actual designations between Delta, Charlie, and Bravo and Alpha. But actually not Delta's because Delta doesn't have it. But otherwise, you got crewman, pilot, medics, and the base kit. Loadout's going to be your AKMs or AKSs, PM, secondaries for the handgun, RPKs for the light machine gunners, PKPs for the Delta machine gunners. Light anti-tank is going to be an RPG-7. Crew and aviation, it doesn't matter. Nothing on crew served weapons. They have 5 transport mutt jeeps, which can carry 4 people per vehicle, so that's 20 people for transport there. And then 2 HMG cars, which have 2 different types of boxes here. 2 bean tracer and then 6 bean regular. So 800 rounds total. Not bad for fire support, can be a bit quick, but you are very exposed standing on the back of that thing. As I would like to say, you are marksman bait at that point. Otherwise, Blue 4 is being commanded by Newton Puma as the 2IC. Eloy is going to be the medic. Arcane going to be leading Bravo with Roach as the 2IC. Jackboy, that appears to be a Mark 11 with a 230A scope. So a 20-round 7.62x51 NATO marksman rifle. Otherwise, we got Steve leading Bravo 1 with Pierce, Bard, Mark, and Kabubi Face. Rufy, Kiri, Charlotte, and Vagrant under Bravo 2. I don't see a slash under anyone's name, so no one's officially leading it, so that would fall to the Auto Rifleman. Oddball leading Charlie with Mito as the 2IC, Lurch as the marksman, Malin being the medic. Yanni Finn leading Charlie with Nemesis. Charlie 1 with Nemesis, Iander, Fine, Finn, and Bror. Charlie 2 being led by Cats with Cola, Spurton, Puma, Nafs, and Dobbs. Patriot leading Delta with Mutant as the medic. Olaf, Seismo, and Sam being under Delta 1. Olaf and Sam taking the two 240 Bravos in Delta 1. Norris and Bates taking the two 240 Bravos in... Norris is leading with Iqbal and Bates taking the two 240 Bravos. Hunt as a... assistant, Seismo also an assistant. Lusode commanding Op4, Tilsod Urbinius 2IC, Solomon's leading Alpha with Skeeta as the SVD marksman, Mackenzie as the medic, Waldo, Foster, Alexander, and Misfit under Alpha 1 Bravo, being led by NASA with Zixmi as the 2IC, Depso as the marksman, and Pogo as the medic. Bluck leading Bravo 1 with Skipu, Kermit, Bob Winchester, Tim Kappa, Aragam, Lolo, Ivno, Wonder, and Racex all under him. It looks like they just merged Bravo 1 and Bravo 2 as I was going over that. Wheaton leading Charlie with Major Khan as the marksman, as well as the 2IC Arcor as the medic. Gazag, Harna, Tackleberry, Banks, Ash, and Night Owl under Charlie 1. Again, I think they merged both the groups together. Artisan as the squad medic for Delta. Arma Jesus leading Delta, and Flux as the 2IC. Cameron leading Delta 1 with Autovisky, Fila, Crazy, and Roster under him. Schnuffles leading Delta 2 with Kane, Sony, Novix, and Colin. And then K-Gear leading, individual. An individual under Charlie 2, I think he's going to merge with the rest of Charlie 1, because I said they did do a merge there. Now, AOs. Pretty much the entire urban area of this town here. You've got one terminal on this little hill here on the church. It's also got really great overwatch for the other two AOs. And you got one down here in this little building. And then another one down in this little block. Really easy for a small group of, or smaller player base to hold these styles of objectives, which is quite nice. But otherwise, getting into this AO is going to be the pain in the ass. Op4, they've got really two choices here. They can either go west and try to pull up in this area right here and utilize these buildings in this forestry to get in, or they can go east and try to pull down over here and try to find an area to pull in all the way around. Maybe drive all the way up here and then enter from that side, knowing that Blue 4, since they're also going to have a limited player base, are probably not going to have a lot of outside security. Or maybe Blue 4 will double down and just do purely outside security, and once they PID where the enemy is attacking from, pull half of their security force to internal security, and the other half that is in front of the enemy holds and fights and gradually retreats to inflict as much attrition damage as they can. But Op4 don't have enough vehicles to transport all their infantry, so they're going to have to either ferry, or they're just going to have people literally walk down on the left and then walk up to the MSR and get in these buildings. And then there's this nice little open area that kind of stops them from advancing, that Blue 4 can utilize positions of security to stop them from advancing on. So, whew, this is a toughie. This is certainly a toughie. Sorry, just watching notifications come up on my phone. Just making sure there's no work emergencies or whatnot. But I do like we have a little 240 bunker that's being made right here. Really to kind of lock down these open areas. But I'm going to be honest, beyond that, I don't really have much else to say. I do appreciate the size of AO being a bit more of a CQC fight. I don't really appreciate Op4's starting point. I wish Op4 had more transport so they could immediately exploit getting into the AO. Because by being forced to walk, it's just a massive kill zone that the defenders could easily try to, like, you know, run out and exploit. And I feel like Op4 is going to get a little spawn camped here. And if you've if you've seen my CCO6 operation, you know how much I really hate being spawn camped and how I never want anyone to experience bullshit like that. But regardless, if I were to make this mission again, I would just give op for vanilla transport trucks. You know, the flatbed ones in the back, so I can carry like 12 or 14 people there. That can easily fix the issue, and then they can either drive to the immediate right or left. Blue 4, really the defense here is just holding these internal areas, and then making some nice little machine gun bunkers like that with openings for them all to cover. So I don't think there's much cost on that side, but that is that. But beyond that, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts? Because for a veteran coverage year like myself, I mean, that's it. It's cut and dry at that point. And that leaves us a little bit of time to talk for me to hear your own thoughts and opinions. But again, I wouldn't mind seeing more styles of scenarios like these in FNF in the future, because it's more small scale. It's a break from the, massive amounts of maneuvering we sometimes see, and I think that's one of FNF's strong suits, is just having these really small AOs like this and just, jam-packing everything immediately. Because I could see this just lasting only 30 minutes tops, and that's perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, we don't have a first nomad. We have...
Yeah, I don't think OPFOR really has any ability to utilize marksmen on these southern ridges to really support their infantry advance. I mean, they got the 50 cals that can suppress areas, but they need to be at a little bit of a closer range, because if... well, actually, no. That's the caveat with them, though. You can either suppress them from afar and have very limited suppression effectiveness, but if you get closer, then the guy standing on the gun behind you, because there's no protection on those Jeeps at all. You're literally just standing in the back, in the open, completely exposed. Your torso's exposed and your head is exposed. You're just going to end up getting shot at by any schmuck with a marksman rifle. Or suppressed to death by anyone with a machine gun. You know what I mean? Tough call either way. We're not really going to be able to see much until another 3 or so minutes. I could also see the vehicles. I think this is probably what we're going to see. OPFOR is going to come over here, come down this ridge, smoke the hell out of it, and then just get down here and then advance, because then they have some low ground to work with. That's the safest thing I see them doing, actually. Again, if they had more vehicles to transport, then we could see something rush on the immediate western or eastern flanks, but I think the only chance they have is to get up here and just smoke this and move on, and hopefully not lose too much manpower to that. But my God, if a 240 static was brought right here just to suppress that zone, that would be all they freaking needed. I feel like a 240 fortification right here would have been the most effective use of that asset. Don't get me wrong, this is nice, but it's got limited visibility from being a little further down, as well as, with the trees on some of the neighboring hills. It does cost it a little bit. Look at this Chad, though, looking at him with the 240. He's waiting. He is waiting to lay down hate. That little red dot rubber dinny. Ha! Alright. Based off of where I'm seeing the infantry deploy, they're not even taking all the cars. They're just gonna freaking go for it. Another thing that might not have been too bad is mounting up everyone you can on the cars, driving in here, setting up away from this position to suppress that area, and then coordinating the infantry to charge down while this position is suppressed. That would have also not been a bad idea, but I have a feeling we're not going to see that level of advanced tactics, and instead we're just going to see a massive Soviet-style infantry charge. But hey, it technically worked last time, right? Even though all of them died and they were just a distraction, but it worked. That side won. Will I get some new tunes? It's really tough to do that math, because pretty much anything made these days gets copyrighted. So I am stuck relying on some oldies and goodies because, I mean, I used to do some other stuff, but it got copyrighted. Some horror songs that were copyright free, YouTube then decided to copyright, and I occasionally check, and they're still copyrighted. So I'm just stuck on old Xbox games and whatnot. I used to do Mass Effect a lot, but Mass Effect started getting copyrighted because they remastered it. That's another thing I noticed, is games usually when they're remastered start getting hit with copyrights, but I mean, Tasmanian Tiger, which this song's from, had a remaster, but thankfully, no copyright. But I mean, that and Homeworld, you know, that's all I really have to work with. Yeah, rip fonts. I loved jamming to fonts while I was doing mission dev, but yep, copyrighted. And yeah, they're going for it. Oh my God. I mean, I expected that. You just gotta smoke and pray at that point. And then Delta's pushed over here. Okay. I'd expect the HMGs to be providing support if they're gonna keep all their eggs in one basket here, and I think we're about to see that. A lot of guys are too scared to make the push, but I'm going to be honest, no one's died yet. Tackleberry got knocked out. And Iander's also gotten knocked out. I don't think he... I'm willing to bet you he fell off the building, to be perfectly honest. They're firing GL smokes in every direction. Now, don't get me wrong, this is actually kind of cool. It's terrifying, it's silly, but it's cool. Oh, there's a dead guy. Do you know why he's dead? He stopped moving. Oh my God. He just jumped over his firing line and got hit in the freaking thigh right there. GL's going off. Literally Normandy version 2, exactly. Woo! So I gotta ask. We have Roofy that got picked off by a marksman, but he got 3 kills suppressing. And I guess that was Mackenzie, Alexander, and Lolo up there. But further down, you got Schnuffles and Zoni. Actually, no, further up because they're trying to provide Overwatch, but with no cover. So those Mark 11 marksmen are just going to pick them off. My God. All right, Op4's gotten their foot in the door. You can hear a lot of heavy fire going down, though, but... Oh, boy. Lolo, I agree with you, but they didn't really have any additional options. For that AO, you weren't really left with a lot. I think out of everything they could have done, though, that was probably the best call, but yeah. Oh, well. There's your body. Again, I think, honestly, this AO's fine. They just needed to have enough transport Vix to allow OPFOR the option to just drive around and pick a different spot to deploy, like over here, or backing around and then over here. Maybe expand the AO a little bit as well to give OPFOR more room to drive, you know? That's the only thing I can think of. Or give OPFOR a bigger number advantage anticipating that level of casualties, because we could still see OPFOR win this. Blue 4 is really spaced out and is, for whatever reason, putting a lot of guys on rear overwatch for some silly reason. But, you know, I've seen some bad missions made in almost, actually, every community I can think of. You just gotta play the hand you're dealt. I don't think Seasmo meant to do that. Did you hear him go, yeah, I'm not going to do that, and he immediately gets blown up by an AT launcher. I love it. Woo! Why did... the hell? Sorry about that. My arm, I guess I somehow hit Alt and Enter at the same time, and it on full screen. So you still have this Overwatch team right here. Well, I wouldn't know, man. I honestly wouldn't know. You just have a death, so you didn't get any kills as far as I can see, but... Ooh, that church tower. Actually, it's not a church, it's, actually, it might be. Yeah, it's got the church symbol on it. Really hard to tell you're being engaged from that position, though. Look, I got the Hunt IRs getting shot at and falling down. So OPFOR, they got their foot in the door now. A lot of blue for those on Overwatch for some silly reason. I guess for some sort of grandiose flank, but that's left the internal line so open. We could see OPFOR still just bulldoze through what remains right here. The issue is this OPFOR group went too far to the northeastern flank, and now they have all this open territory they have to contend with, and that's where they're getting picked off. So this other team is going to be able to use these buildings to get on top of that position, but now we need to see Delta fold in to join the force here. But they are still getting suppressed by the far left force. So it looks like there was one of the Delta 50 cals got intercepted right here, and now they're using that 50 cal against the infantry coming in. That's not good. AT was just fired up there. And that actually killed NAFs. And it looks like it disabled the vehicle, knocked all the wheels out. So great return shot there. I have no idea who fired that round, though. Might have been Wonder because he has an infantry kill. Or they might have gotten the guy in the tower, yeah. But OPFOR now moving in. You've got this other fortified area right here they're engaging. That's what's a little bit of a risk when you make fortified positions is they stand out. GL fired. It's going a little left. It's a little high for these guys. again, I still think Op4 has a pretty decent chance right here, because now you got Delta that's going to go engage those Overwatch elements. Looking at the skull counts, though, you see a few more sporadic skulls on Op4's side compared to Blue4, but it's still anyone's game, because Op4 did start with a number advantage. Here's what I'm worried about, though. He's driving on his own. Yeah, that stopped him. They hit a tree, though. Oh, my God. Chuckleheads. Blind suppression actually just knocked out Yanni there. That's unlucky. There's Terminal 1 being hacked, the southernmost unit there. We got NASA trying to hunt Sam down. And Sam's none the wiser. And Sam just got Hillary Clinton. Shame that Sam just committed suicide. Anyway. Hack counting down. Blue4 has no one around to stop it. Op4 have mostly entered the city. Now the next major push. How do they get from here to down to the other two sectors? I think they're going to probably take this route because there's a little bit of tree cover utilized. They can also go a little more on the eastern side and go in, but we do have Blue4 locking down from this ridge right here, but they are starting to take suppressive fire and get knocked out. Roar just woke back up. Yanni is still down. Again, I still think it's anyone's game because Op4 still has a pretty sizable amount of infantry in the AO, and Blue4 have a lot of stuff on their flanks, but in terms of actual AO security on the terminals, not that much. So just a small Op4 force can bulldoze in and take the other two terminals. I wonder at what point we'll see Charlie fold down, but I think it's already too late, all things considered. Because now Alpha and Delta are going to keep them pinned up there, and they're just going to rely on the elements of Charlie and Bravo for Op4 to go in and hit the rest of these, as we're seeing a little bit of a counterattack by Blue4 Bravo 1. Interesting call. 5 seconds remain on that terminal. And we'll see now how Op4 decides to fold in. Hardcore, I feel like, is about to get flanked. And there's the terminal going down. He's harassing this bunker up here as they've turned the gun left. Now you're starting to see a little bit of Op4 moving down around this area here. Charlie on the ridge just trading with Op4 right here. I have no idea what happened to this vehicle, but it looks like it inflicted heavy casualties. I guess they blew the truck up there and it just got quite a few kills, the explosion. That's unfortunate because Op4 really does need those numbers. And now Blue4 has an opportunity with the strike team here in Overwatch to keep thinning them out and regain the number advantage. And we're only 13 minutes into this round too, mind you. I did say earlier this is probably going to be a 30-minute round itself, and yeah, I wasn't kidding. So he's taking the 240 Bravo from Sam. Good old NASA. Got some CQC going on as Solomon is being pushed, but Nemesis shows him his 249. Only to be shot by the King of Arma himself.
Shooting right into him.
Now, how is Op4 going to move down and capitalize on these terminals? Because Blue4, they're setting up a new defensive line. Op4 have some guys on Overwatch instead, as they have their own Bravo 1 team trying to push in. As Blue4 Bravo 1 continues to come around. We got 2 guys on Charlie here for Op4. They could potentially sneak around, get behind all the defensive lines to get to the terminal itself, but there just feels to be a lot of loose fighting right now. We have Flying Finn down as Kane advances with 2 kills. So the Blue4 elements that were down here, I think, are going to be staying down, as we have Charlie instead folding back. and getting on positions to try to overwatch this area right here.
We're getting overrun on the red circle marks. There's enemy.
Uwaga, śledź tego downa jebanego, który wróci ten flankur, no. Jaki to jest dzban jebany.
The issue is Op4 is going to have to be the one to make the advance, and I feel like Op4 is kind of stopping here. We're only seeing the advancing be done by Pepega on the far right side, so maybe we'll see a reach around like this as they hit that other terminal, but that is going to slow the round down quite a bit. Meanwhile, NASA might have gotten engaged on the rear right here as the rest of this Blue 4 Bravo 1 team moves in. Hey, Surrect, how you doing? Now we're seeing some more advancements by Op4 Bravo 1. Looks like that was suppression on Steve over here, who is up a kill. Depso on 4 kills with that marksman rifle, though. Nice.
Bravo, what's your status?
Bravo 1 moving to the terminal. This is going to cause a bit of an internal fight here. We might see Charlie fold in. But with only 90 seconds, it's a tough call. Grenades being thrown right there as they're trying to stop an Op4 advance. Depso got taken out. Ivno trying to kill Norris, but Norris folds into cover. Oh, not far enough. So now we might see Terminal 2 just barely get held here. Olaf suppressing with a 240 from the other side, pinning Ivno and Skipu to this position. Bob Winchester coming around, though. Ivno gets taken out by Norris with that 249. Nope, he only has an M4, my bad. It's going to be up to Bob to interact with it, but Blue 4, I think, is starting to fold in the remaining forces here. And now, based off of the markers I see, I think Blue 4 has a distinctive number advantage at this point. You see a lot more Op4 bodies up here. And Charlotte with 3 kills, so I wonder what happened. I think Op4 just kind of lost momentum. They wanted to play Overwatch up here instead. And that allowed Blue 4 to kind of re-solidify their defensive lines on the sector. Granted, we do... Oh, no, Bob. Oh, it's a smoke grenade, thank God. I thought Lusode was going to blow Bob up with that. As I say that, Bob is dead. Well, I cursed Bob. I'm sorry, Bob. Looking at the skull counts, it's not looking good. There's definitely more skulls on Op4 than Blue 4. Charlotte gets blue on blued by Steve. And double tap by Harna. And Steve then gets blue on blued by Bard. What? What was that train of events? Okay. Okay, why not? That's why I love my... And now Skipu and Lusad are blue, red on red in each other. Okay. Touch the terminal, damn it. Oh, you chuckleheads. Well, he paid for that with his life. Kappa in the road. Cullis shooting the hell out of him with a 249, and somehow Cullis loses that fight. Iqbal trying to stop Lusode, but Tim Kappa might come up. Granada. But Norris is here. He folds in and saves himself. Another grenade, and there goes Lusode. Oh, and he turned into it head first. Hunt almost kills Norris. Norris stops the terminal at the 51-second mark. And Bard and that other dude trade, but Bard could still wake back up. Isn't that just fascinating? Now we do have Pepega Actually, I'm not seeing a lot of Pepega names there. Oh no. Okay, we got Kane. They're over here. So we got Kane, Zoni, Colin, and Kevin. But I'm not sure if Colin and Kevin are Pepega. So it's just going to be up to them. Okay, Cake here as well. So that's why these three are over here. Can we have a 3-man Pepega team clutch this? How's Scandy doing? They're all dead. All right, guys, do you believe in the dream? I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to curse them, but you never know. Let's see if the banana god is with them. I don't know. I've done strafing maneuvers while shooting, and I haven't been able to hit shit. Well, there goes one of them. Grenade. That was too low. Yeah, one has the 240 Bravo, the other has the PKP. Wow, Patriot tries to flank, but here comes King. Oh, but the grenade that Cake Gear threw up killed him. Oh, that's brilliant. That's freaking brilliant. And then he gets blown away by Norris. Rest in peace, Pepega. Looking at the map here, though, it looks like numbers are now back in Op4's favor somehow, though. What the hell happened to Blue 4's numbers in the meantime? Yeah, Slash, you got... Where are you? You got like 3 or 4 kills, but you got blue on blued, and then the guy that blue on blued you then got blue on blued. It was a very interesting train. I actually can't find your name. That's because you're Blue 4, not Op 4. I'm a dum-dum. Yeah, you're up 3 kills, and the 3 you got was those 3. Anyhow. Harna, that was an enemy. Good grenade throw. Oh, you knocked him out. A little bit of a deer in the headlights moment there. Waldo with the hack. And it is now 1, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Op4 with a 4-man number advantage. Woo! And we're on the 22-minute mark for this scenario, but it's going to slow down because Op4 is going to recuperate and move to the final terminal, and Blue 4 is just kind of all out and about. But can Lurch get some kills here? That's a great grenade. But the 2 run out because I think they saw the grenade last second. Night Owl now shooting at Foster? Oh, no. No, no, no. Night Owl. No! Why did you just throw a satchel? What is going on? That blew up the way up. I don't know. Oh, up. Banks going for the outflank. Lurch going for the security. What we have here, gentlemen, is a failure to communicate. And Banks just shot at Night Owl. What is up with the blue on blue and red on red on this round? This is some of the worst incidents of friendly fire I have seen in FNF round in a while. Like, just consistent. Like, we're almost in double digits, I think. At least 7 incidents I can think of right now. Everything looks green. It's hard, man. Yeah. Let's look at a Blue 4 kit. They're green. Yeah, let's look at an Op 4 kit. They're also green. Yeah, I getcha. I getcha. When everyone looks the same. Got Waldo over here looting that damn 240 Bravo. Yep, Malin, you're incredibly right based off of what I just saw on both kits. But we're going to have a bit of a slowdown here as Blue 4 rallies up around their final terminal and Op 4 is licking their wounds. All right. Yeah, just shoot first and ask questions later. That's what I've been seeing done quite a bit. There's Harna's body. Alright. Will Misfit and Waldo channel their inner Adriados to make it to the terminal? Or will they die trying? Stay tuned to find out. Yes, I did just curse them. Anyway. The Hex has been casted.
Grenade.
Run, bitch! That's an explosive. That's another explosive, which might actually... Ah, nah, not that angle. Yeah, screw that sign. I think that actually killed him, but... Anyway. Oh!
Died.
Depso! Out of nowhere! With the great grenade throw, he's got a 230 on a freaking M249. Oh my god. The real Adriado of the match has shown up. Now can Depso. Actually, I'm not even going to do it though, because there's only 2 Blue 4 left. Uh-oh. 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 He can just hold the trigger down. Oh my god, that's what's so fun about the 249. Just Blue 4's eliminated because Olaf got the other kill. Did you hear that? Did you hear the noises this gremlin just made? So, I guess Depso went goblin mode there. Okay. Okay. That was pretty close. But yeah, that, like I said, 30-minute mark. Anyway, that was round 2. I'm waiting to see what we see for round 3. And it is... Proving Grounds. Oh, god damn, it's freaking Capture the Flag. Proving Grounds. No. No. Oh, no. Well, this is gonna be bad. Also, it's Proving Grounds, but I say Proving. Anyway, let's go. Four is trying to capture Op4's flag. Blue 4 has a 7% numbers advantage. 2 armed BRDMs with PKTs. A UH-1 gunship.
Send in Goat Team 6 now.
2 months cool.
And transport, well, Op4 has a BTR 40 and 2 static DSHKs. Well then. Penguin Boy, thanks for the resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. And I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Hold up, a few people randomly messaged me over the TeamSpeak. One second. Gentlemen, it's a Night Owl mission. For those of you that have not heard of or seen a Night Owl mission before, prepare to be entertained. Because Night Owl only makes one mission a month, and that mission is some of the craziest, zaniest, wackiest shenanigans you can ever see. It's gonna be a Night Owl mission. Oh, we could have a giant death laser. We could have a massive custom airfield. We could have a volcano base. Anything goes. But yeah, I am definitely ahead of schedule, which is quite nice. Yes, you can, Bob. Yes, you can. That was a pretty good one. Well, Gavalor, good for you, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I said based off of that AO kicks, it would be a 30-minute round, and it finished under 30 minutes. I mean, that with the 15-minute save start, it was a 45-minute total, but yeah. You gotta remember, it's a 50-minute round max with a 15-minute save start, so the matches at most will be a little over an hour. But yeah, that one was, whew. This is round 3 at this point. Melon, I'm not complaining. I don't think anyone would ever complain about a Night Owl mission. I'm just hyping it up because I love his stuff and I love seeing the shenanigans surrounding it. So we can hope everyone gets slotted. Quickly and effectively. God damn it, Kix. DayZ will be in roughly 3 hours from now. Now, here's the thing. If this round ends quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Bloodwing, see if she's free to run the errand like an hour earlier. Then I'm going to hit up Karma Cut and say, hey, do you want to do our meeting earlier? And then after Karma Cut and I finish up, I don't think the meeting's going to take more than 30 minutes because I'm just going to go over the AO, the marking, so he has everything he needs to write up his info. And then we're going to set up a schedule, and then, yeah, then I'm free to do DayZ. So I could do DayZ up to an hour early, so it'll be sometime between 2 and 3 hours. At most, though, it'll be 3 hours away. And we'll bring the sound bites back. Oh, boy, we'll bring the sound bites back. But I've set up a few different servers to jump on. I put them in a poll in my chat. There's going to be a quote-unquote main server I'll be acting on, but the other ones I'll probably be chilling on occasion as well. Just to keep it varied. So we'll see how all that goes. Overall, though, I think FNF, the first 2 rounds were pretty good. Really, they just kind of relied on the infantry fighting at the individual skill level rather than the tactics, because some of the tactics were silly, but they worked out. And that was because of the infantry fighting, so. It be like that, so we'll see what happens here. What happens on the DayZ stuff? I get mentally scarred. That's what happens. We'll see, Shark. We'll see. Again, there's so many things I have to focus on, but we'll get there when we get there. One second. cool. Sorry, so I've been saying this over the past week, but all of my Saturday slots for May have been taken by commission jobs already, and I've got other people that are now looking to commission my time for other stuff, which is fine. That's great, but May's really starting to shape up, so it's like, oh my god. Onto what on earth? What's the last game I even played that had a name like Daisy? Then again, you're probably quoting something I can't get the reference. Which is my bad. I'm limited to Arma, and that's it. Oh, yeah, I am a very smooth-brained Falcon. Yep. 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 I should just end the stream now for that one. I worry sometimes. I do too. What do I commission? Arma stuff. There's a lot of people out there that, at least in the past 3 months alone, like usually it's like a once every month, once every other month, I'll have 1 or 2 things going on at most, but I want to say ever since 2 months ago, I mean, the ones I can talk about, Black Templar, Karma Cut, I've got 3 different groups for the Saturdays coming up, and there's been some other commissions, which I was told to keep hush-hush, because they don't want to be mentioned, but overall, yeah, I've just been busy as hell with those. To the point I had to tell people I'm not setting anything up till the 17th and 18th for May, because I was already getting in such an influx. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, I got another DM I need to go answer, so, you know, we'll see. Sounds like a blast. It is. It's just... It takes a lot of time to get commission work done, because I have to learn a completely new community, I have to study them, I have to look over their ace settings, I have to look over all their other custom settings, and then I have to balance things accordingly, you know? So, on average, it takes me about 2 hours to make a standard mission file. Halo and Last Ship took a little longer, because with Halo I had to do a bunch of deep diving research on what gear was appropriate and then weapon test it all. And then Last Ship I have to build the, you know, this massive map, and I had to do it twice, because the first one was broken, unfortunately. But, you know, those were both 5-hour jobs, and then the frickin' Last Ship was 2 5-hour jobs, because I had to remake everything. So, God, what on earth did he make? But... yeah, commission jobs are anywhere from 5 to 10 hours, which is why they're up to, God, Saturdays it's 250, Fridays and Sundays it's 200, and then anything else is 150. And that number was $100 cheaper a month ago, but just supply and demand with it. But I don't mind doing commission jobs. I don't mind working with anyone, to be perfectly honest. The only people I don't like working with are people that have burned me in the past or done some really messed up things. I have a little blacklist, but yeah, you know, it just takes a lot of time, and that time, you know, comes out of editing videos or organizing other stuff and yada da. I have a system I'm going to probably come out with in May, because I can't do what I did for Halo and Last Ship again for future months, because the reason I was able to commit so much time to those campaigns was because I didn't really have a lot going on because of IRL stuff this month. But it'll be an option of, you know, if they want that quality of operation again, probably gonna do what I did a few years ago and just have a donation goal in the corner while I'm doing mission dev and get some public funding for it, you know? Oh yeah, and I keep having random people ask me to redo Project 11, and I keep telling them, give me like a year to reform my dedicated player base, and it might not even be a year, you know, it might be a little quicker, so whew, we'll see. Again, a lot of stuff on the horizon. I'm just taking it one project at a time because there's 20 other things I'm working on. I mean, just compare that to when I was last doing DayZ and I finally brought DayZ back, all right? It takes me a while. Yeah, Project 11 was a continuation of Project 8, which, you know, God, that was like another year prior. Like, it was nuts. But yeah, I have all my projects listed out. Though, here's the thing. A project back in the day was something that required me to spend like 5 to 10 hours on it. Because back in the day, I was also a full-time student. And for one of the years, I also had a full-time job. So I didn't have, you know, 5 to 10 hours to spend on mission files. So now a lot of my work is of what used to be considered a project's quality, which is why I don't name them projects anymore, because I just have the time to do that, you know? And I do remember Project 10, it fell apart because of an Ace Medical update, which still pisses me off, but, what can you do? Though I think we ended up rerunning that campaign like a year later. And it still worked out. I just changed the parameters. Instead of us coming out of a vault, we were basically an NCR forwarding team or something, and we just cleared the area out for NCR expansionalism. But yeah, there's not a lot of interest for Fallout Ops these days, which sucks, because I'd love to get into that one, but, you know, say la vie. That's the one weakness of my community, is I let the players decide what they want to play. Which, I guess, you know, to most people that wouldn't be a weakness. In my opinion, that's the proper way to do it, but, you know. It doesn't always line up with what I want, but I'm a man of the people, so we'll do what they want. Alrighty. I'm gonna be honest, I can't explain any of this. It's a Night Owl op. I don't know what we're gonna see until we actually load in, and the fact that we're still on the screen means Night Owl is taking a sweet time explaining everything because it's a Night Owl op. And again, for those of you that have never seen a Night Owl op, prepare to see something. Based on the rockiness, this is either gonna be a volcano. Actually, no, that is the pit. But they're saying it's a hill. He might have made a giant underground bunker. The Mad Lad. Alright, we'll just have to see. I would like to bring a looting style campaign back to my community on Discord. However, that would be something I want to let a lot of players play, which means I would need a lot of time on the weekends, and that is something I'm not going to have for a while until my commissions slow down. So it's not going to be till like June or July. But anyway, let's get to the third round here. Whew. Briefing. Excuse me. Made by Night Owl. Background. Proving grounds has been inverted. Up is down, down is up. That's, I knew it. Notable valleys become hills and vice versa. Notes. Time to capture is 10 minutes in the capture zone, and the flag position is updated every 5 seconds. Proving grounds is a small map. If you are able to view other teams' infantry from your safe start for whatever reason, you may not use it as an opportunity to kill and snipe them. Mission rules: only hotel may spawn at the second safe start location. Hotel must use the helicopter. Hotel may not take nor capture the flag for balance sake, so the helicopter can't just rush it. All right, game mode here is capture the flag. So the flag marker is updated on the map for everyone every 5 seconds. There is a capture zone that is not revealed until the attackers take the flag. Or they might always see it, but I know I can't see it. Also, double rainbow all the way. Love it. The defenders win if the flag is not captured. The attackers win if the flag is captured. It's basically taken from the defenders and brought to another zone. Otherwise, mission variables here. Safe start. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Standard 50-minute round. Maximum view distance is 800 meters. Defender build points is only 100. Is there an echo on either side? We do have an echo. All right, so only for Op4. So Op4 have 2 AT per player, so that's Colin and Patriot, so 4 rounds total on that group. Otherwise, looking over at the settings, let's go with Blue 4 first. Blue 4 uniforms are the modern American Army camouflage kits. You got platoon leader, platoon sergeant, squad leader, team leader, auto rifleman assistant, grenadier, grenadier IR guys have the 40mm Hunt IR camera grenades. They fire up in the air, parachutes down, provides a bird's eye view with normal and night vision, and can be shot out of the sky. Very nice to have. Machine gunners, machine gunner assistants, combat engineers, which have the choice of 4 different types of ordnance, 4 tripwire mines, 2 being HE, 2 being flares, 3 AT mines, 2 explosive charges, 2 explosive satchels or 4 explosive charges. Both can be turned flurable. Charges you can throw like a grenade. Satchels you can only throw like a meter in front of you. Light anti-tank, medium anti-tank, 1 assist, which we see in the MAT settings, so these don't matter because there used to be 2 different MAT weapon groups. RI, RAS, and SMP don't matter. Those have been phased out. DMRs you see in Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie under the actual positions. Then you got crew leads, pilots, medics, and your base kit. Weaponry for these guys are going to be M16A4s or M4A1s. Glock 17s is the secondary. 249s for the light machine gunners in Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Medium machine gunners in Delta get the 240 Golf. Light anti-tanks going to be the single-shot disposable M136 AT launcher. Crew and aviation get the MP7 or the M4A1. And that does matter because I do have hotel. Assets are going to be 4 quad bikes, 2 BRDMs with the, it's the 2UM model that has the single turnout PKT with a lot of ammo, but you're really exposed up there and almost always get headshotted. And then you have a, is that an, that's a freaking, it's a Huey, but it's the UN Huey that's completely white, and it's got the 2 side door mount guns of 240 Bravo variety there, so that's funny. And then they have a Mortar with 12 HE rounds. I didn't see that in the beginning. Okay. Pocket Mortar. Who would have thought? For your modern Army generic military desert camouflage kits made by Banks. Loadouts are going to be AK-74s or an AKS if they're true Chads. MP443 Garages, that's the secondary. RPK for Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. PKPs for Delta. Light anti-tanks going to be the RPG-7. Crew and aviation gets the PP-2000 or an AKS. Otherwise, they have a BTR-40 Dishka and then a 2 static Dishkas. Anyway, so based off of the description, yeah, so he... That's funny as hell. So, Night Owl basically inverted proving grounds and added a bunch of custom built-up areas. So the flag capture zone, it's marked right here. It's this custom built-up terrain right here. The big crater is actually a giant mountain, and he's built a bit of a mountain base on the inside. That's funny as hell. This is a very small map. Again, this is probably going to be a 30-minute round. Op4 has spawned down here. Let's go ahead and look at our groups here. Wow, Sparkle, if you're still watching, Steve is commanding. Kiri as the 2IC, Night Owl as the platoon medic. Vagrant leading Alpha with Roderick as the 2IC. Sam taking the marksman rifle. Blue 4's marksman rifle is going to be a Mark 11. Basically a 20-round 7.62 by 51 NATO marksman rifle with a 230A scope. Actually, I think they get their choice of scopes, but I keep seeing people pick the 230. Regardless. For Alpha 1, we got Seismo, Autovisky, Waldo, Foster, and Misfit. Charlie, wow, okay, no Bravo, no Alpha 2. Charlie being led by Norris with Harrington as the marksman and Agrim as the medic. Mito leading Charlie 1 with Iqbal, Hunt, Oddball, Lurch, Tim Kappa, Roar, and Citizen. Delta being led by Katz with Flying Finn as the 2IC. Dobbs as the medic. Nemesis leading Delta 1 with Cullis and Malin taking the machine gunner roles for the 240 Bravos. Actually, 240 Golfs in this case. And then Iander being the assistant. Yanni leading Delta 2 with Nafs and Purton taking the 240 Golfs, and Rowan and Puma taking the assistant roles. Gamma is going to be the dedicated vehicle crew for what? I guess one of the dedicated vehicle crews for... Oh, they might actually do the Mortar instead. That or they're going to be a dedicated vehicle crew for one of the BRDMs. And then Pierce is going to be flying with Mark and Kabubi as his 2 gunners for the helicopter. Harna is going to be commanding for Op4, Swola leading Alpha with Major Khan Ash, Banks, and Tacklebear and Gazag. Under him, Alpha 1. So it looks like they're merging all of Alpha 1 and 2 into Alpha. So it's also going to be Arcor and Wheaton joining him. Bravo has Kane leading, Novix as the 2IC, Charlotte as the marksman, and Kikir as the medic. Korvac leading Bravo 1 with Artisan, Alexander, Schnuffles, and Zoni under him. Moneyman, Army Jesus, and Flux are in Bravo 2. Might merge with Bravo 1 because they're only a 3-man group. We'll see. NASA leading Charlie with Zixme as the marksman and Pogo _ as the medic. Wonder, Lolo, Wombat, Depso, and Bob Winchester under Charlie 2. Delta being led by Bluck with Roofy and Kermit and Skipu from the other groups of Delta merging in. And they also have Racex, who I think is going to merge in as well just to take all 4 of the machine gun roles. And then Echo is going to be a mat team with Kevin leading, Colin as the gunner, and Patriot as an assistant for 4 rockets total, 2 per player there. Only between the AT gunner and the assistants, not the squad leader. Otherwise, very simple op. Blue 4 comes in, grabs the flag, and then brings it back to this position and holds it for 10 minutes. This could be a 20-minute round, too, but the one issue we're going to have is Blue 4 doesn't have a lot of vehicles for transport because those BRDMs, I think you can carry people on the back, but not a lot to work with there. That hill is going to really dominate this AO. I think the safest bet for Blue 4, I just had a bird spawn on me, is to come over here and utilize these ridges, but there's this really nasty opening right here, so there's another ridge they can utilize as well, but then they have all this open terrain to work with. That's interesting. The trees get filled up, but when you get closer, the foliage disappears. So Op 4 is going to be able to shoot through the trees, but Blue 4 from a far range is going to have them render in. That is an evil advantage that Op 4 has. Not sure if Night Owl knew about that while making things, but interesting.
Hello.
You got some nice custom areas in here.
Yeah, no, that is not 99% sure.
I think they're crawling into these areas right here.
Don't crawl into the rocks. I'm digging.
Come here, Fox. Yeah, down to those rocks, so we can retreat up the hill without getting gunned down.
Follow me. I know how to get out.
Okay, how much does an H barrier cost?
So it sounds like they're trying to build fortifications right here so they can easily retreat back in case there's an open charge. Because I think another way this AO can be done is Blue 4 drives into here and just assaults, moving up these wrecked vehicles, and then, you know, pushes up the hill. So 2 pretty nasty ways for Blue 4 to get up there. But I think all the fighting is going to be done for the flag itself. Because if Blue 4 somehow gets the flag, Op 4 is probably going to be dead 10 times over. We've got some other little build-ups here as well, but beyond that, it's not much. I'd love to steal this AO for a mini-op, though. That'd be quite fun. Like some sort of stealth mission. Well, Sparkle, I'm glad that this random Steve can bring you joy. I'd root for the defenders on this one, but the attackers, you never know what they can pull out of their butts here. But otherwise, that is it. I mean, and then Blue 4 also has a mortar. Here's the thing, though. There's only been 2 people I've ever seen, actually 3 people I've ever effectively seen use the mortar. Let me reword that. There are only 3 people in FNF I have ever seen use a mortar effectively. They are as follows: Falcon, Stark, and Bay. Guess who I haven't seen in FNF in forever? Falcon, Stark, and Bay. So I wouldn't bet on the mortar. Now, the mortar having 12 HE rounds pummeling that hill, I think is going to be really, really helpful for Blue 4. But not a guarantee that it's going to be used effectively for Blue 4's advantage. I also think that mortar should have been given smoke rounds to help with the advance. Usually I say smoke rounds are a waste of time, but in this particular AO, I think those smoke rounds would have been really helpful for giving some cover for Blue 4 to advance up the hill, you know? Oh, it just doesn't show? Okay, cool. Thank you, Mal. Malin, of course, the de facto ruler of FNF EU, excuse me, early branch. That's what they like to be called these days. And, yeah, if he says there's smoke, they have smokes. Yeah, the problem is actually having people coordinate with the mortar team to see where the splash is, observe where the splash is, excuse me, and then, you know, correct it accordingly. Also, Almost forgot they do have the Huey, but the Huey with a few well-placed disco rounds can be schwacked pretty hard. So it's going to really be up to... Oh, that's pretty cute. There's some firing positions right there. But it's going to really be up to just the range and fire by volume of the Huey to actually do anything, because if it flies too close, the disco is going to tear it to hell, so... Malin, you're not even playing. Are you? I thought you were a neutral dude. Oh. Ha. Once in a while, there are points where stream sniping doesn't matter, and that is one of those points. Whew. Had a random yawn. We got just basically fortifications being made in a bit of a combing fashion so they can retreat point to point to get to the inner little crater here. But beyond that, that's all we've got for the most part. Thank you, Don. I appreciate your due diligence. Yeah, we're just waiting for the round to begin, really. I'm just really curious to see what Blue 4 does. If that mortar is used effectively, then I think Blue 4 has a pretty solid shot at winning this. I don't think the Huey's going to be as effective as we think, but it can always do some pretty close buys and, you know, maybe get a kill or two, but we'll just have to see how it goes. The trick is the timing of assets. If the Huey can fly over and do a gun buy as Blue 4 coordinates a charge, so that the Huey and the mortars keep Op 4 suppressed so Blue 4 can advance up the hill, then it's going to be a very effective round. Having FNF coordinate something like that is a completely... Well, it's a completely different issue entirely at that point, to be perfectly honest. But we've got 2 minutes, guys. What are your thoughts? I think overall, the rounds this week have been on the shorter side, but there's nothing wrong with that. First round was pretty standard. Second round was quick. This round, also going to be quick, but again, nothing wrong with a quickie. Just ask Bloodwing. Yeah, the Huey can also do spotting, but with this short of an AO, I don't think the Huey's going to have enough time to do any proper spotting. Well, no, that's a lie. They can assess where the Dishka positions are and, you know, try to estimate where Op 4's infantry are. But I doubt Blue 4 is going to pull back and then, you know, push to a different area because they're also completely on foot and they don't have the vehicle volume to actually go around. So it's a tough call. You can hear the Huey spewing up on the distance. There's the round. BTR 40's getting up on position right here. Huey's coming out. And now we have the great infantry charge with the great vehicle push. I wonder if they're going to use the BRDMs to ferry infantry. That could also be a decent call to make.
Please.
The fact that they're holding here, Huey coming around, means the Huey might actually land and pick everyone up, or the BRDMs are going to ferry people. Tough call. Opening barrage. PKMs return fire. There were some hits up there, but I still see a +8. Other BRDM is pushing off to the side. And we have some Op 4 players that have rushed down here. Oh, God. Well, that's why you pull into cover, guys. So right off the bat, one BRDM sniped because it dismounted in a really silly position. You got Wombat on the ground right here. Ooh, lag spike. I thought I was going to crash for a second, but he's also taking friendly fire, and he gets knocked out by friendly fire. All right. Roofy with -1 kills for that one. No surprise there. And now Blue 4 has a very tough advance. Mortar is set up. Huey picked up what it could. Why are there people bleeding here? That's interesting. But it looks like they are going to deploy... I don't know, man. They'd have to land low, probably back here, and try to open up a different angle. But again, it's just going to pull up for in 2 different directions. Technically 3 to look, but one of these sides is fairly similar.
We should... Let's get away, let's get away.
So that crew's pulling back because they're taking marksman fire. And now we just need to see the mortars land, but hold up. See, this is what scares me. They're, oh, no, they're doing it back and forth. So that is 3 out of their 12 shells wasted. Honestly, use a smoke round. See where that smoke round lands, adjust, use another one if you don't think you're close enough, and then adjust, because otherwise they're just going to waste all the HE mortars. But again, I figured something like that was going to happen. A little bit of a lag spike around here.
Send in GOAT team
Rannick, thanks for the 10-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. And I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Shot was pretty much online for where that was. That's high. You're seeing shots getting traded back and forth down here. Oh, as far as I know, the FNF hasn't had RD computers. Because you got another round that's landed right here with no adjustment for fire. We have a BRDM pushing out to get down here, but the BTR-40 is down here, and that's going to shred that vehicle. Oh, and that guy. And he gets picked up by a marksman. That was Flux. King got knocked out. Seeing the E-Clan on the SVD does feel so wrong because that's the Zentico railing. Now you got these guys holding off over here. You know, I think he meant to give these trees with the grass on them, or the foliage, but for whatever reason, I think this map is just causing the trees not to have foliage. So all that concealment that Blue 4 would have had to help them move up isn't there. So I think Op 4 is just going to be able to hold this. But here's the thing. If Blue 4 used their mortar effectively, they'd be getting multi-kill upon multi-kill up here. So without that heavy asset to really support them, this is just going to be a slaughter. It could also be wind deflection, which they have to adjust for, but that's the 5th round that's landed at that same exact spot, because they're not adjusting at all. AT just came in and smacked somebody. I mean, Op 4 has had one KIA who got picked off on that. But Blue 4, okay, they've only taken a handful themselves, but... Wait, why is there an Op 4 guy all the way over here? What? I think Dobbs just saw him, yep. That grenade is gonna follow Nemesis! Ooh. It's gotta suck. Will that grenade double tap? It might. Yep. One goes short though, and Iander grenades Malin in the face. Awesome. 6th HE mortar shell lands in the exact same spot. Blue 4 trying to advance. You got a quad bike that's had 2 people go down. You got a wounded member being carried in. Let's see if they spot him through the little smoke opening right here. I don't know, but they're not correcting for it, so there's not going to be any change, you know? they just ran him over. Nice. God damn it. Yeah, no one's adjusting for the mortars, so they keep whiffing it in the same spot, thinking they're on target. Blue 4 advancing with more forces up to that one defense line that they've had forever. Huey's going to start shooting down onto the defensive op 4 position. My frames just die when I go to the top of that hill. Good God. Lower my render distance a bit more. But yeah, so they had command and another group over here. Mortar has been adjusted about 20 meters south.
What can you? Is what I'm asking. Like if I hop in the back with you and you drive and I can throw satchels on the back of it?
I like the way Flux is thinking.
Come here.
That. Well, okay, but they're out of that position now, so it doesn't really matter, but.
Okay, hold here, hold here.
I want to see them. They're either going to drive down there and throw satchels on him, or he's going to put the satchels on there. I think you just said never mind. Dang.
I was trying to see if I can get back to the
All right, that's the 8th one. They're adjusting it to go south. But Depso is now coming up to this encampment. Actually, excuse me, this rock cropping. Is he going to try to climb over it? Yeah. It's either 9 or 11, I forget. And now he's taking friendly fire. The friendly wiggle has been ignored. And Blue 4 is attempting an advance, but we're just seeing Op 4 counterattacking in certain areas. Wow, Depso just got a great headshot on Waldo there. That, I think, was the second to last or last round, potentially. Vagrant gets tapped by Cake here. I mean, Blue 4 just advancing in open areas, and then Delta in no position to really support as the heavy machine gun, or medium machine gun roll. This is a mess. I don't call lone wolfing out anymore, Dreadnought, because I don't even know the rules at this point. Cake here gets headshotted by Patriot. Got Bob and Zixme on the wide flank.
Yeah, that's fucking me, you cunt.
I think Misfit's triple timing. And he gets knocked out. Novix is also dead right there. And Blue 4 is advancing with quad bikes. And I think Depso just got friendly fired again by his by the defensive line. And once again, the mortar is completely ineffective. Again, that's why I say never bet on the mortar unless you see one of 3 people using it. Flux throws a satchel. That might hurt him, but not knocks Steve out. There goes Blue 4 ground command. Ooh. Steve's medic goes down. I was about to say, I think the lag just saved Steve, but it looks like that wasn't the case. We're hearing more rockets being fired overhead. Roar pushed up, he's down. It is lag city right now. Artisan stuck reloading, but a grenade saves him from Arma Jesus. Depso still on Con Night Owl going up on that ridge. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I heard AT get launched. I guess it was over at Delta's group. Woo. You had fight? Yeah, no, I'm getting FPS issues up here too. Alexander just has the noob tube out. Norris, unfortunately, only had 3 bullets left in his magazine, and Skipu had a PKP. But yeah, the lag spikes up here are pretty bad. Night Owl appears to be hiding. And he gets the headshot on Tony on the back of the Vic. Harrington has been hit multiple times. Wait for it. Oh my god. Oh, but Wonder has the high ground. A grenade goes over and Harrington is still alive. Yeah, that didn't last for long, did it? Wow. Another Huntire getting shot. Delta now trying to charge in. There's the pitch, and it's short. Is there a follow-up? Someone reached the inner ring, yeah, right? Wasn't for long, though. Now it's just up to Delta, and Curie has command to IC because Steve left. There's the pitch. Wow, that actually wasn't that bad. What is up with... that's your own asset, too! I give up. I give up.
Yeah, we got guys coming in east.
It's like, guys, please. have a machine gunner all the way back there to cover. I thought the tail rotor went out for a second, but I think at the speed of it was at the same as my monitor's refresh rate, so it looked like it was just held right there, but I didn't notice any spinning. Yeah, every time there's an explosion, I notice that the frames die for a second. So something with the fragmentation effect from Ace is just causing it. Now you got Delta pushing up. You got the smoke rounds. These are the smoke mortar rounds. So why were the smoke mortar rounds effective in actually hitting the enemy, but the HE rounds were... I don't get it anymore. I'm confused. How can you be effective on target with the smoke rounds, but the HE you aren't? I don't know. I'm just gonna shut up. It's not travel proportions. They're all... It's the same thing. Oh, there's an explosive charge, and that beep beep makes Burton turn around. Here comes Naps. And Naps gets blown away. Here comes Burton. We got a runner. Oh, you're right. They were using the HE rounds to target designate for the smoke rounds. You're absolutely right. What are you doing? It's +4 now, so they picked 2 people up. AT missed. What are you doing? Swola had enough. Swola had enough. Oh, that was funny. Granted, that was deserved because he kept shooting him. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, good enough. Blue4's down to what, 3 dudes? Op4 has a big chunk. And again, it's tough to say because the mortar was completely ineffectively used. If it was effectively used, I think it would have been a bit better, but this was definitely a defensive leaning AO.
Helicopter, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, what was that body's physics? Oh! Alexander does not like people. Good headshot there, buddy. Can Iander channel his inner Audrey Hotto and somehow get the flag and kill everybody? Stay tuned to find out. Oh god, Kevin's in trouble. Okay, the grenade wasn't close enough. Zix me. With a 230 on another 249. How does he keep finding those things? Or no, it was someone else with that. Oh my god, what the hell happened to the ground? Oh, what happened to the ground? Where'd Iander go? He's still alive. Go, Iander, go. Banks is on -1. And he's working on -2 by shooting at Lolo. So Zixmi's coming around to shoot Malin in the face. But Dixme gets shot at by Flux. Can Iander use this confusion?
Greg, this is not like 4 of us left.
And now they're all shooting. When there's so many there's so many people on one side that everyone's like, ah, let's just free for all it, guys. We can do it. Clutcher kick. Unfortunately, Artisan also has -1 kills. And now he has 0 kills.
Northeast side is breached. Northeast side.
Oh no. Lolo, he's just a boy. Well, okay. Op4 wins. GG. We'll be back in a little over 2 hours, maybe a little less. Depends how quickly I can get through everything. So thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and enjoy your Friday. Have a good one.